Hi, I'm Ryan Nickel, CTO at DSA Ocean, and today I want to talk about how you can make a multi-hull mesh using the Orca3D Hull Assistant and then use that for input for seakeeping analysis in ProteusDS. So if we jump over to Rhino here, I have Orca3D menu, and we'll go to Hull Assistant, and we'll go straight over to the default ship assistant here, open assistant, preview the hull. So I've got this set up here with a 30-meter length, and for multi-hull, we're just going to look at a basic catamaran. So what you do here is you're modeling one of the demi-hulls or the amas, and then you want to set it as a little bit of an offset and generate the mesh. Now the hull gets mirrored when you import it into the ProteusDS ShipMo3D toolset, so we're just doing one of the amas. Of course, like this is arbitrary, it's not a real catamaran or anything like that, but for something that's 30 meters long, we'll probably have a pretty slender shape here, so I was thinking, 2 or 3 meter, 2 meters is going to turn into 4 meter, deck size when we make a complete system here, right? So, anyway, what we'll do here is now I've got the draft set to 0. We want that to set to 0 because we're going to adjust the draft when we do the hydrodynamics calculations later on. But this is what we want to do here. So what I actually recommend you do, normally we would just do the port side only for a monohull. Actually here we want to do something different. We want to do the full model. And now what we want to do, the reason for this is, again, we're going to add an offset now. So the first thing here, we'll just move the whole thing over. So we'll go move, type that command in, and you can pick any relative point, but honestly, if you just kind of get an idea of what your offset's going to be, we'll just start with 0, 0, 0. So that's going to move a point relative to that origin there, right? So rather than clicking here, I'm just going to type in the value. So this is going to be the separation from the midline of the AMA. Maybe we'll just pick something like 6 meters, so we don't want any X offset. So 0, 6, 0, and then of course that's a mirror image above the midline, so the total AMA separation distance is going to be 12. Okay, so here we go. Now this is not the numerical mesh, so we still have to do that with quadri mesh. And what we'll do is we'll just select all of these, Control A to select all, or you can bandbox select, and then type quadri mesh. And I like to preview, hide input objects. So I've got 500 elements here, and you might want to play around with some of these settings to see if you can get kind of a little bit better results. Like this looks fine, like pretty nice, not too coarse mesh. I thought the transom's a little bit high resolution here for my liking, but I didn't want to spend forever playing with this right now. Just to kind of demonstrate, I wanted to demonstrate the general idea of how you'd go about doing this. So if you generally reduce the number of elements here, just say for example we knock it down to, I don't know, 400. You'll see it remesh everything, and then everything's a little bit more coarse, although there's still quite a lot of elements on the transom. Not a big deal, just, you probably could optimize it a bit manually. Anyway, this looks fine. So we'll go OK. And oh, I thought I selected delete input objects. Let's do that again. So I hit Control Z undo. We'll do quadri mesh again. It's just a little bit of annoying to delete the input objects. So preview, hide input objects. Just take a look at that again. The reason you want to do that is you want to make sure the only thing that's getting put into the output file is the OBJ numerical mesh values, not anything on the NURBS parameter. So just go delete input objects, you go OK, and you see what we have here left is the mesh of the single hull. So we'll join that, so it's one entity, and now what we'll do is save as. Okay, on my desktop, I'm going to make a new folder here, multi-hull, and save this as my hull input file. Okay, so now let's open the ProteusDS ShipMo3D toolset, make a brand new project. Change that working folder right away. There's my desktop. There's my multi-hull location. Change this to 30. Draft at midships, 1.5 meters. We'll go add new data panel hull. And we'll pick wavefront OBJ. There's my hull file that I just made. So we'll run this. And then when we plot panel hull, we should see our mirrored AMA there. So there's the whole catamaran multi-hull. Obviously, if you want to adjust the separation here or any of the details of the hull itself, you go back to Orca3D and Rhino and make those adjustments accordingly. But this is how you can get that starting point with a multi-hull hydrodynamic analysis and seakeeping analysis. All right. Thanks for watching.